Good evening, YouTube. I'm here continuing adventures in hydroponics and other things here. I had this grow chamber and I made a pretty bad video last year about getting started into hydroponics. Since then, I've moved it to the laundry room. My wife wasn't happy where it was, so we moved it to the laundry room. I was happy enough, but anyways. So right now I've changed the design of my hydroponic chamber. I've created two zones, and I'm going to put the lights in a little while, but I built a wood frame here out of 1x6s, basically 2x3 legs over here, bolted it together, chipboard bottoms, and on the top I've got some conventional little tote bottoms that I cut down, and I've got a pump coming up over here that's going to pump the hydroponic nutrient solution. Down here I've decided to go with a Kratkey method of growing here with the roots dangling in the fluid. I decided to take a chance. I'm going to give it a try, see how it works. I'm going to try to use this as the reservoir for the up top grow area. So I'm going to pump the water from here up into the top, and then it'll drain back down by these two gray pipes over here. You can see the one over there, the other one's in the back. It's harder to see. I'll get in a little closer. There it is right there. Okay. I found that when I started to do this, and I'm going to start this video and stop it just to show what happens, but when I start to pump the water in here, it fills up and it doesn't drain very good, and the water keeps coming up and up and up, and it gets up to, you can see the top water line right there, right around there. And as soon as the water gets up to there, it generates enough pressure that it starts to push the air pockets that are in these drainage tubes out. Then the water starts to flow really good. Then the water continues to go down and eventually hits the bottom of the gravel, and you can start to hear the water drain better. Now, coming over here, here's my drain tubes here, and this little can of tuna, it's just a temporary thing to hold this because there was enough water force of the water exiting this pipe over here. It was sucking rocks in it. So this way I've got at the end of this pipe over here on the inside of the container, which you can't see, so I'll dig it back right here. You can see I've got a 90-degree elbow, and that the elbow is close enough to the bottom it prevents rocks from coming up. I also drained 3 holes near the top that will allow air in. I'm going to cover that back up now. Okay. An added bonus is once this water, which rises steadily until it gets to the water line here, then it slowly goes down. Once it does start to drain, it starts to suck air in there, and that in turn comes out down here and exits this pipe over here and bubbles the water. So it's kind of aerating the water. So I think that's going to be good. I found that with all the bubbles and stuff going on, that it was splashing and going to go over the edge, so I just put a 90-degree elbow and a pipe and shoved the pipe towards the middle of the area, so if it bubbles, the bubbles and the little water spots won't get all over the place. Once there's some root in there, the root will take care of any splashing. So that's what I'm doing. I got my little Mighty Mite pump there, and it does pump up a lot of water. Now, but when I get this thing operating, this pipe, which I got right here, will actually have 1/4-inch little feed lines off of it, so it's not going to supply water at near the rate. And for my test at any one given time, I've got the full output of all the water going into one receptacle. At most, it's going to go half and half about, so the water's not going to go in near as fast as my full bore test here. Also, you can see over here, this water over here, there's still water in this. When I stopped my test, I'm going to turn it on. It would go down way faster once the air pockets are out. It's not draining hardly fast at all right now, and it would drain way better than that. But I'm going to show this, but I'll be doing it in stop starts because no sense watching it fill. It does take a bit of time, so I'm gonna do that, and I'll come back right now. So just to get started, I'll turn it off. I'm going to get the water started, and like I say, I'm going to stop start this. So stand by. Okay, I got the water going here in the pump, and this pump is a pretty powerful little pump. I bought it, and it'll raise a column of water pretty, oops, didn't want to do that, pretty high. See, it's just pouring it out. It's like I'm filling the tub almost. Okay, and as you can see, right here, it's filling it up, and that water is going to go up pretty high. If you look down here, there's no real big evidence of the water discharging a whole lot out the pipe. I'm sure it is, but not really much activity. You can even see the surface of the water. There's no swirls or anything. There's no movement. Okay, coming back up here, you can see the water is getting up there, and it's got about an inch to go to the water line. Hope you can see that. Okay, I'm going to hit stop right now, and I'll come back when the water is just about at the water line and starts to drain. Okay, I'm back again. The water is now, it's been going for not that long, but it hit the water line. And you'll see, you start to hear some bubbling sound. That's in the bottom there. It's just pushed out an air pocket, and you can start to see it's exiting much better. You can see the water circulation. I don't know if you can see those little floaties dancing around in there, but the water is definitely coming out quite a bit better. If we come back up here, you can see that the water now is really below the high water line there, which is good. That'll get the gravel totally wet, which is a good thing. Then it drains, and it's going to continue to drain, and I'm going to shut it off now, and I'll turn it back on when we're almost there, because this is like watching paint dry. A little more interesting, but not a whole lot. Stand by. Okay, I'm back now. I just turned it on, and since the last shot, the water has just steadily dropped on the water line. You can see it's just about at the gravel level here, and you should start to hear some air suckage. There we go. And that air is there's the discharge tube over there, so it's over here, and it's sucking air right there, here. So the water's dropped down to a sane level, and if we come down here, you can see, right here, light down here is kind of poor. Here we're getting some bonus water bubbling action going in there, aerating this Kratkey section here. So I think this is actually, I'm pretty excited about how this works. I just have a couple of concerns right now. Let's go back up here. The gravel up in this little compartment is getting fairly heavy, and by doubling the layer, I'm going to be doubling the weight of gravel. I'm just going to turn this pump off now. There we go. And the water drains down to its reservoir level. There we go. And there we go. I figure by putting the gravel up to about the water line, that will work pretty good. And that'd be about double, maybe a wee bit more than what I've already got in there. The action on the back one is exactly the same on the front one. I've ran this flood and drain process several times, and it's predictable. I just have to make sure that when I top it up with gravel, the water pressure is the same, so that it clears these tubes here with the air in it, and it doesn't overflow, because overflowing is bad. Right here. Okay, so I just wanted to document this at the earliest stages. We'll see how it goes. Over here, I found some, for the Kratkey method, I found some little foam here, and as a bonus, this foam has aluminum top to it. Very reflective, not unlike the reflective material on the little grow chamber itself. So that was kind of a nice little find. It wasn't even that expensive. Okay, I do have to wire in an electrical plug and hang my fluorescent lights that I used last year with good results. But anyways, I just wanted to document this, and I'll string this and edit it into a video. Hopefully, with the weight of the extra gravel, the whole thing doesn't come crashing down. That's okay. Also, on my reservoir here with the 6mm poly, I doubled up the layers, and on the bottom I put newspaper underneath the poly, between the poly and the plywood. That was just to give me an early leak detection, so I could see if the paper was getting wet, I knew I had a leak. It didn't leak. Hallelujah. Anyways, talk to you later, YouTube.